Alright, so let's go over what we talked about first. We have talked about where to go right here, screencast-o-matic.com, and it's real easy. All you have to do is hit record, and it starts recording. You can also get an account started while you're there. And then once you hit record, it just starts recording everything that's on the screen. You can move the screen around. You can resize it for the size of the document you're looking at. Something I've already created is an Excel worksheet on how to make a chart in Excel. And so there was the information I used. I highlighted that. I made a chart out of it, and then I moved it to the second screen. And then I also, in my lesson, I showed how to move it into a document. I will put this screencast as the second part to learning how to do a screencast, to show what type of lesson you can come up with by doing a screencast and how helpful it might be. But right now we're just talking about how to use and really introducing the advantages of having a screencast. So again, if you have a lesson that you want to give and you're by yourself and you really would like to give it and still help your students with what they're doing, this is a great second teacher. You have an overhead projector that has Excel capability, or whatever documents you can put on there, and it has availability to the internet. You can screencast anything that you do, whether it's a worksheet you put up there and work through anything you want to do. You can screencast it and then go step by step on how to do everything. Again, in this lesson, I showed how to adjust all of the numbers, from how to sort them from greatest to least or least to greatest. I usually like looking at them from least to greatest, but you can show how to sort the numbers. And then it shows on here exactly how to sort them. Again, they're sorted from least to greatest. I showed how to count them up and organize the information so I could make a chart out of there. And then on this part, I showed how to create the chart, how to customize it so it looks like a chart that would be appealing to see and make sense, hopefully help with the understanding of the information that you're trying to get across to your students. So if you have a math lesson plan where you're showing how to regroup numbers, how to subtract and regroup with two-digit numbers, how to multiply, divide, and some math features, that's kind of what comes to mind for me. I know you have sentence structure lessons that you could do. You could have, again, a worksheet that you have on your computer. If you have the capability to do a PowerPoint or anything like that, you can screencast the PowerPoint and it does everything you do, and it shows this little yellow pointer going to everything that you're doing. So it kind of helps the students keep track of what's going on. You can also get rid of the pointer if you don't want that. That's a feature on the screencast as well. And the screencast itself is just extremely easy to do, and it's a great way. What made me think of wanting to do this when I was going through my master's program was that I thought this is a great way, if I'm going to miss a day, it gives me a great substitute. I don't have to just give out book work or anything like that. I can do a screencast of the information that I planned on teaching that day and have the substitute go ahead and just play my screencast, and then have the worksheets or the project that they can work on after the screencast is over. And then I also have it to where I can put it onto a website or a YouTube video, which I've done a few this year, where my students, if they're still struggling with anything, can go to YouTube, which pretty much everybody has that capability to watch YouTube at their house. they can go and watch these instructional videos over and over and over again in case they didn't get it the first time that we did anything. So it's a great reteaching tool. So I just believe screencasts, just knowing they're out there. Before my master's class, I didn't even know they existed. Knowing they're out there and how easy things are to use, that this is a great tool that any teacher with any kind of electronic background or technical background, either a great background in technology or a fear of technology, either way, you could feel comfortable using this. You just need to know it's out there and exactly how easy it is to use. All right, well, thank you very much. And let me finish this up. All you have to do is say done. You can also, if you don't like the recording you've done, you can restart it and start over again without having to go back to the website and doing everything else. If it's not sized correctly, you have to stop it and resize it. You can't resize it once it starts. But for the most part, if you like what you've done, you can go ahead and hit done. And then you go back and preview it and see if you want to make any changes, anything like that. If not, then you can upload it to YouTube, or it's on your screencast page so that you can view it, or you have a, what it does is the screencast creates a site that you have for that screencast so that you can watch it directly from the screencast. So if your school doesn't allow YouTube into the school, you can upload this, or it's already at the screencast location. You just need to know what the site or the URL that they give it, and then you can just use that for your URL. I think most schools, this is not blocked, and if it is, go to your technology person and ask them to unblock the site. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and push done, and then I'll close up with any questions.